Hi guys, it's Kelly and Yui. I have a
Hi.
guest today, and I am here with a great story. It is a requested story, and my hair is wet, and I'm in Hawaii, and I have a great story. So, a year ago, my friend Kathy in Utah decided to go on a mission for our church. And she put in her papers, and you never know where you're going to go. I went to California, Yui went to the Philippines, and her husband also went to the Philippines. And so, anyway, you don't even know where you're going to go. So she put her papers in. A little while later, she called me and said, I am going to Hawaii. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta visit you when you go there. I have to go to Hawaii. So I saved for a whole year. And right before I bought the ticket, I said, can I stay with you? And she said, yeah, I think so. So I bought the ticket. And then she called me back and said, oh, you can't stay with me. And I'm like, oh no. Okay, I'll just save more money. So I saved some more money and I found a hotel hostel type place. And when I called there to make the reservation, then the guy said, oh, I see your birth date and I see that I'm a little older than you. I'm in my 50s, but I look really good. And when you come here, then we'll have to party. Even though you're Mormon, I'm sure you'll want to party with me. And I was like, yeah, sounds amazing. So Kathy picks me up at the airport. We do some fun things. And then we get to this hotel type place. And it looks like something from the cast of Gilligan's Island. Like it looked like Gilligan and the skipper could have bought it. Do you even know what Gilligan's Island is? That's a television show from a long time ago where people went on a 3-hour cruise and were stranded on an island forever. And they tried to make radios out of coconuts. Well, anyway, so I go knock on one door and I see some people and they said, oh, if you come after hours, then just get your key out of this envelope. And it says, Aloha, right? Go back to room E in the back building. So Kathy and I walk to the back building and we walk back there. And we go up these steep stairs, and there's some people there, and I'm just with Kathy, but I knew I'd be staying there all by myself. And I see room C, I see room D, no room E. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Then I saw a gecko, and I thought, I am not trying to buy insurance. Like, I don't want to stay where there's a gecko. So I just decided to try my key in room D. I don't know why I did this, but I thought maybe if I try my key in there, like maybe they meant for me to be in room D. My key worked in room D. And there was one single bed in there. And I thought, no, the picture that I got said I would have there was one double bed in there. And my room was supposed to have 2 single beds. I said I didn't know if I was going to bring a friend or not, so I definitely wanted 2 single beds. And so I thought, this is not my room, and even though my key worked in there, I don't want to stay in there because, like, there were little slits in the door where you could see through it, and it looked like no matter how old you are and how strong you are, you could have kicked that door open. And between the door and the door frame, you could see the room, and I just thought, I do not want to stay in that room. Like, I just don't. And so we looked everywhere, and Kathy said, you know what? If you get a bad feeling, then let's just go back to my house and you can spend the night. So I spent the night there on the couch, and the next morning I got up and I prayed and I said, okay, I know I have to stay in that room. I know I do. I don't want to, but I cannot stay here. But I have no other choice. This is where my reservation are. I've already paid for half of it. Like, I have no other choice but to stay in that room. There's no other choice. And so I just prayed and felt like, okay, I'll just stay there. So then I decided to go to the Laie, Hawaii temple and do some work for my family. And when I went in, I just got this overwhelming feeling of peace. And I felt so peaceful, like everything's going to be okay. Like, not everything's going to be okay with my room. Not everything's going to be okay with my love life. Not everything's going to be okay, whatever. Just everything is going to be okay. And so I decided, I walked down into this baptistry that there is there, and then I'll let Yui take over for a moment.
Okay, so last Friday, I worked in the temple 6 a.m. to 10. And then my first assignment was go to the initiatory area. And after 1 hour, I was supposed to go to locker room area. So when people come in, I lead them where the lockers are. And one of temple worker sister told me to go to the baptistry area. I was like, okay, all right. And I just went there, and I was serving other people, and I met Kelly, and she's same age as my mom. She could be my mom, actually.
This is my new daughter.
Yeah, and then she told me a little bit about the story, and then I feel like I should let her stay in my house, so that she'll feel better. So yeah, I'm glad, and we've been having fun since Friday.
Yeah, so anyway, I went in there and I met this beautiful sister, and I just started in the locker room and I was getting undressed, and she said, "Where are you staying?" And I said, "Oh, this very ghetto hotel has a gecko on the wall, and all the keys might open all the doors, and I don't want to stay there, but I have no other choice. I have to." And she said, "Oh, what year were you born?" And I said, 1974. She said, "Same as my mom." And I said, "Oh, okay." And so she said, "You don't need to go back to that hotel. You can stay with me and my husband." There he is, right there. There he is. He's out serving our country today on an army base here. And so, anyway, he just really wanted to be in our video, obviously. I know he's going to be so happy when he sees that. And
you know what? I was actually worried because I didn't ask him for
obviously
permission.
Didn't ask him. She just told me.
Yeah, I just told her, "You can stay in my house," but I haven't told him yet.
Yeah.
But actually, after worked in the temple, I messaged him right away, and then he said, "Oh, sure, okay, yeah." So he's a very nice guy.
Very nice guy, as we can see. Doesn't he look so nice? It's like he's here with us. So anyway, she said yes. Then she said, "I will message you." So she messaged me her address. We exchanged phone numbers. Then Kathy and I drove out to the hotel, and I said, "I am not going to stay here." They said, "Okay, we'll give you credit for another stay." I'm like, "No, I don't want to stay here if I ever come back. Like, I don't want to stay here." And they said, "Why can't you find your room?" Then they said that they tried to make it sound like I wasn't smart, that I couldn't find my room. And so then they showed me, Kathy and I went, and they showed me it was out on a deck. Like, there was room C and room D, and then out on a deck was my room. My room was out on a deck. And I'm like, "Look, regardless, that key fits in all the things." He said it didn't, but I don't believe him. I know it does. And then I said, "The key stays in all. These doors do not shut all the way, and I just do not feel safe staying here as a single woman, so I'm not staying here." So he said, "Okay, that's fine." So anyway, I brought all my suitcases here, and now in their extra room, I have it full of junk, just like my room at home. Clothes everywhere. Like a cannon, a tornado of clothes went off. And they live in BYU, Hawaii, married housing. And when I was living in Provo, I always thought, "Oh, wow, I hope I get married and can live in BYU housing." And I thought, oh, well, that just didn't happen. But now here I am for a whole week in BYU married housing, and I guess everything works out. So anyway, I told someone on the beach a little bit about my story a couple days ago, and they said that Yui sounded like the nicest person they had ever heard of. And she is so nice. She has been so kind to me. She packs me lunch in the morning when I leave in a bento box, and I now want to buy a bento box. I'm like, wow, there's so much in here. It was like a surprise. Everything was in there. And she has just been so kind to me, and I'm so grateful to have a good friend of her and her husband, and we have had a really enjoyable time. So what I do know is that everything always works out. The end. Thanks. Bye.